I fundamentally changed as a person because I would say probably about 8 years ago, 8, 9 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, I had a very, very, very fixed mindset. I was a very different person. And there were multiple catalysts and major life events.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Curiosity Class. I am super honored to be joined by my new good friend, Alice. Alice is someone who can't really put her into a box. She is doing so many things that I have trouble keeping up with. But I'm super excited to talk to her today about, I don't know, all things entrepreneurship, Austin, community building, etc. So, Alice, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
100%. So we got connected originally through a real estate meetup. And I feel like since then, I've seen your name everywhere. You're all over my LinkedIn feed. Your social media presence is unbelievable. So just like walk me through it. What do you think of yourself as these days, primarily?
I think the biggest struggle that I have when I describe myself is that I don't fit in boxes very well. It's always
Yeah.
been that case. And even when I try to describe myself, I guess if I have to put one label on it, I'm a real estate developer. So my
Okay.
background has always been in real estate development for the last nearly 2 decades. So if I had to put just one label on it, I would say real estate developer. Yeah.
Okay. What if you had to do three labels?
Oh my God. Okay. Real estate developer, community builder, and podcast nerd.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Man, I feel like there's all those are rabbit holes that we could spend the next hours talking about each.
Yeah.
So, okay, walk me through. Let's start with community building. So you
Uh-huh.
have built Prop Lab Media. Walk me through that. Like what is Prop Lab Media? What's the vision there? And then why did you start it and all those kinds of things?
I think I got to go back a little bit further in terms of before my time moving to Austin, Texas.
Okay.
So I moved to Austin in about May 2024.
Okay.
So when I first moved here, the key reason why I moved to Austin is a lot of my favorite podcasters have recently relocated to Austin. So it's mind blowing how Austin is now the hub for a lot of different cool things that's happening in Austin. So you have your biohacking community, you have, of course, your podcasting community, and you also have the comedy community as well as the martial arts, especially Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So I don't even know how to describe Austin, but I know my friends, when I talk to my friends back home, they tell me that I'm glowing. And I'm just talking to them on the phone. They can't even see me. And then they tell me that I'm glowing. So Austin is definitely the place to be. And I actually kind of moved here without ever being here back in 2019. I tried to move here right before COVID, and then COVID happened, had to drive back to Canada. So I actually spent about 4 years in Montreal. Building
Okay.
community in Montreal was very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So one of the first communities I tried to build was for the All In podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I had met a new friend uh, in LA back in 2023 for the All In Summit. So it was
Okay.
Sam. So when we launched the fan club in Montreal, there was Sam, myself, and for 4 months, we only had one other member, Sandra. So for 4 months, there was only the three of us. So it was really difficult to get people together and build that community. So when I decided that, you know what, I'm done with Canada. I'm going to relocate to Austin, Texas. The first thing I did was to build a bunch of different communities based on my favorite podcasts. I have a
Okay.
lot. I listen to maybe 3 to 5 a day. So
Okay.
I have a lot on my rotation.
What are
And
they?
oh, there's a lot. There's a lot to name.
Well,
I would
which are
say
the
top five, maybe
yeah,
top
yeah, top
five.
five, top five.
My First Million,
Okay.
Modern Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
This is really difficult for me to name the top five. And by favorite, not the most listened to. So My First Million, Modern Wisdom, Jordan Peterson, Founders, All In.
Okay.
I say would be my top 5 favorites. I listen to every single episode, but The Full is significantly longer than that, but
Okay.
I would
Okay.
definitely love those for entrepreneurship. Yeah, so
Okay.
I built a bunch of fan clubs because I needed to surround myself with like-minded people,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say half the friends I met here in Austin are from the fan clubs that I've held. I've even been asked so many times on how to do it. I published a book on the 8 steps of how to become a community builder. I'm just like, I got so tired of people asking me. I'm like, "Okay, here you go. Follow the 8 steps."
That's amazing. And that's also genius to I've actually been thinking about this a lot. Like, what's a way to surround yourself with people who you want to hang out with is like
Correct.
podcasts are such a great filter for that.
Yes. I'm such
So
a nerd for different podcasts.
how like have you always had that like community building instinct? Like where did that come from?
Great question. I'd say no, because I'm actually more introverted. So for me, one of the key reasons why I like being the host is so I can take a step back and see everybody connect
Mm,
them, not being in the middle of it, but
mhm.
just seeing people do their thing. That just warms my heart. I like connecting people. That for me is natural.
Mhm. That's fair. Have you been doing this your whole life? Like is this like a cuz you've lived all over the world, right?
Yeah, I've lived in 8 countries, 9 cities across 4 continents,
Okay.
but I think that makes it easy for me to connect people, but it's not something I've done, only started when I moved to Austin, really. Yeah,
Got it. Got it. Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just from the 4 years living in Montreal where I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of amazing friends, but in terms of having the common interest, we didn't have much. Our
Mhm.
common interest is going out for dinner and going
Right.
out for brunch. But, the things that I'm interested in, such as real estate development, the all-in podcasts, things like that. It was difficult to find that community and
Mhm.
surround myself with, the saying you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Mhm.
So I started listening to a lot of different podcasts because locally in Montreal, when I was there, I didn't have those 5. So that's why I turned to podcasts, listening to podcasts. I don't have a podcast myself yet.
Yet we're working on that.
I don't know if I will. I don't know.
What's has there been any like key threads that as you've hung out with people from because if like okay, the only thing that you know about someone is that they listen to a similar podcast. Is
Yeah.
there any like similar threads that you tend to notice across these events of like, oh, everyone seems to be obviously interested in the podcast, but above and beyond that.
I love the title of your podcast because I asked my mom how she would describe me. She
Okay.
said, curious.
Okay.
So I would say the people who come to my events are always very curious and open-minded people. So
Hmm.
that's where we vibe because
Okay.
I'm very curious. I'm like a 2-year-old. I ask a lot of questions. I'm always looking to learn. But I actually wrote about this in my last newsletter is that I fundamentally changed as a person because I would say probably about 8 years ago, 8, 9 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, I had a very, very, very fixed mindset. I was a very different person. And there were multiple catalysts and major life events where I had become very different, very just going from an extreme fixed mindset. I quit everything that I tried. In my newsletter, I even talked about how I didn't even bother applying to any universities because I wouldn't be able to get into any of them. And secondly, I wanted to go to art school, but I couldn't even get my shit together to put together a portfolio. That's how much of a slacker I was. And going from that, having a very fixed mindset, just kind of having that misunderstanding that if you put your effort and mind to it, you can improve and you will improve. I did not understand that. I did not know that. Growing up, that wasn't a part of my understanding.
Hmm.
So I've fundamentally changed as a person in the last, I'd say, 8 to 10 years.
Was there a catalyst that started that process?
I would say there are 5 major catalysts. Back in 2018, I was just leaving London. I had spent a couple of years in London, loved living in Europe, did not want to leave Europe, but I my visa was up, so I had to leave. Before, so if I left London, I was going to go to Berlin. So in
Okay.
between London and Berlin, I had a month gap. So I decided to go to a Muay Thai camp in Thailand.
Okay.
Never trained never trained Muay Thai in my life. My colleagues in London actually told me, "Hey, did you realize that this is one of the most intense martial arts and you're probably gonna die?" And I didn't know any honestly, I did 0 research. I didn't know anything about it. I don't even watch UFC. I didn't watch UFC. I've never even owned a TV in my life. So I had no idea what Muay Thai was. I was like, "Oh, it's from Thailand. I can go and just chill for a month." So that's
Yeah.
why I joined the camp. When I got there, I was so bad at everything I had to do. So every morning, it's 7 to 9 in the morning, we had our morning training. And then 4 to 6 in the afternoon, again, another 2-hour training. So every day it's 4 hours of training. And usually we start off with 15 minutes of jump rope. And back in 2018, I could not even jump rope. So I don't know if you guys call it skip rope or jump rope, but I could not do it. I could not. For the life of me, I didn't figure that out for 2 years. And I guess because I was really stubborn as well, I was so bad at it, I thought, let's see what happens if I just kept on trying. But long story short, when I got to Berlin, there's a huge housing shortage. So I couldn't find a place to live for the long term. So I actually only got an Airbnb for about a month and a half, 2 months. I trained nonstop when I was in Berlin when I was there. Couldn't find long-term housing, so I just ended up living out of a carry-on, and I went further and further east. So I started training in places like Warsaw, Poland, Kiev, Ukraine, Cluj-Napoca, Romania, and I even did boxing in Havana, Cuba in 2018. I traveled probably between I never count these things, but maybe 20 to 25 different cities just to
Wow.
train martial arts, go to music festivals, and just blow all my savings. So yeah, that's what I did in 2018. So major catalyst in terms of changing my mindset, going from a very fixed mindset to like somewhat curious about personal growth and
Hmm.
seeing very little results, very, very little. It probably took me 2 years before getting it, before my body started to do all these very awkward movements. It was tough. It was very tough. But then I started seeing improvements. And then that's when I realized, hey, so it turns out people aren't all born with these kind of abilities. It's actually hard work, dedication, and consistency. So I actually learned this in 2019 when I joined a Muay Thai gym here in Austin called Ambush Muay Thai. So this
Okay.
was their slogan on the back of their shirts. Seeing these 3 words blew my mind. So
Wait,
you're
sorry, what
saying
was it? What was the slogan?
hard work. I can't remember the exact order, but it's hard work, dedication, and consistency. And that blew my mind. So, because that's the first time when I realized, hey, when you actually follow through, have put in the hard work, have consistency, keep showing up, and have dedication, you actually might see results. I did
Mm,
not know that. I was not raised like that. I was not. Yeah. So that was catalyst number one.
okay. Wow. And so I'm assuming you still train, you said Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and also Muay Thai to this day?
Jujitsu, I just started a couple months ago with my church.
Okay.
So our
Cool.
church has small groups where we just train every Saturday before Bible studies, and then we go into Bible studies. Super weird, but so much fun. Yeah,
Wow.
but I
That's a cool
still train Muay
church.
Thai. Oh yeah, Red Rocks. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you kind of the first catalyst was you learned this lesson as the application was martial arts. Did you have
Mhm.
it like a similar evolution in business, or like when did the business mindset start to kick in?
Oh
Or
yeah.
was it synonymous?
That was the second catalyst, which is
I didn't even know
reading
that.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
4-hour work week and Burr back to back in 2019.
And
So,
who were you hanging out with that recommended those? Like, how did you pick those up? Because,
oh
if you're in real
wow.
estate, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
if you're not, those are quite random.
It was actually a friend of mine I met in Guadalajara because in 20 beginning of 2019, I was living in Mexico City. So I was
Okay.
just traveling a lot. So I spent a month in different states within Mexico, and I met a fellow traveler from the United Kingdom. And then he told me, "Hey, you should read these books because it probably would put you on the right track." I
And
had known
bef-
of Yeah, go
before
on.
this point, like, did you have what was your background? Did you have a background in business or real estate or any of this stuff, or no? It was like all new.
Yeah. So I worked for some of the largest real estate developers and consultancies for a very long time. So I
Okay.
started my real estate career in real estate development in Vancouver, where I grew up in 2007. So I
Got it.
worked for the
Got it. Got it.
largest real estate developer in Canada. And then that real estate career kind of took me to Australia, to the UK, and whatnot. However, the only thing I learned working for these developers is that I don't have deep pockets. I do not know the right people because syndication outside of the US is not common. So here you have a lot
Mm,
of syndications, but
mm-hmm.
in Australia, in Canada, and in the UK, it's not open to the public. It's very much who you know. So
Interesting.
unless you know somebody, it's really difficult. I had to just like fact check with ChatGPT because it's everyone talks about syndication here in the United States. But coming from a real estate development background from Canada, Australia, UK, we don't talk about syndication. We have joint ventures. That's super rare, super rare. So
Really?
usually, yes, usually for these projects, there's like a handful of people. Not like here, you have projects where it's like 50 to 100 different, families going in, but no, not in most places. It's, a lot of Americans take the American dream for granted, and a lot of
Yeah.
immigrants like me, we're here because of the American dream.
Right. Right.
I love this country.
Okay, so that was catalyst number two. So you read those books, and you were like, okay, so what did you do with it?
So from the Bird book, so it stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat.
Hmm.
So from that book, I got to know the Bigger Pockets podcasts and the Bigger Pockets forum. Only back then in 2019, that's when I started listening to podcasts.
Okay.
Before that, oof, okay, here's the truth. Before that, I didn't read a single book in my life. Not a single book, not a single podcast. Even in high school, when we had to read Animal Farm and all those different books, I barely read them. So I did not read anything fictional until when I lived in London, when I was spending a lot of time on the tube. And that's when I
Okay.
started reading fiction. I did not read biographies or any sort of growth mindset, personal development books until 2019.
Okay.
So this is all new. Like all
Okay.
of these, because I caught up with a friend for lunch, and then my friend is like, "Do you ever relax?" And even I don't know if you know Ethan Brooks.
Mm-mm. Who is that?
He runs the Austin Business Review. Such a great guy, and I
Okay.
love his weekly newsletters. He recently referred me as an overachiever, and I'm just like, those are not words that people would use to describe me ever
Hmm.
when I was growing up. Even up until I was in my probably up until 2016, 17, you would never call me an overachiever or go-getter or any of that. So this is all very new.
That's wild. That's wild. Okay, wait. So you're starting to say that, like, okay, you read those books, you read Burr, you got into
Yep.
podcasts, you got into Bigger Pockets,
Yep.
and that was,
So
I don't know, no shade to the bigger. I feel like that was the golden age of the Bigger Pockets
yes.
podcast. They were so good.
Yep.
Like Brandon
Yep.
and David at the time, like they were amazing.
Yep.
And so did you get into real estate investing? Like
I
what happened then?
did. Yes. So, I met my business partner Naz on the Bigger Pockets forum a month
Okay.
before the COVID lockdowns. So I met him
Whoa.
exactly once in person. So we had gone to look at a property in San Antonio together. That was the first and only time I've met him. So I had to drive back to Canada in March. I know it's crazy. I had to drive back to Canada in March because my whole visa application was delayed. I
Okay.
went back. Him and his wife moved to Seattle. That forced us, during the severe COVID lockdowns, that forced us to grow a company completely remote. So we
Okay.
actually built 2H Homes and 2H Investment remotely during 2020 to today. So everything is done remote. I met him exactly twice.
So yeah, okay. So let's talk about that. You guys are on the forums, and for those who don't know, Bigger Pockets, how would you describe it? It's an online forum where people chat all things real estate. Yeah.
Facebook for real estate.
Perfect. Facebook real estate. So the forums are huge. There's probably,
Yeah.
I don't know, it feels like millions of people. So how did you guys connect out of the haystack?
So I remember making a post asking people in Texas to, because I know the sweet spot. Usually it's between 150 to 250,000 in terms of the market value, in terms of making the 1% rule. So I
Okay.
was just
Wait. So
asking the
just
community.
explain the 1% rule for those that aren't familiar with it.
Yeah, so my strategy is I want to build up cash flow. So in
Okay.
order to build up cash flow, you need to make sure your rental income covers all of your expenses, which is PT, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance.
Hmm.
So a lot of places, for example, in Vancouver, where the average house is $1.9 million dollars, and our income is only about 60% of what Americans make. I'm
Right.
pretty sure this is why Shopify is still in Canada. But it's impossible to actually meet the 1% rule in
Hmm.
places like that. So I found that the
Wait. And sorry.
closer you are.
So the 1% rule. Just go through the math really quickly.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh gosh, math. Not gonna
no
lie.
public.
I failed calculus 4 times. 4 times in high school in college. And it took me 7 years to finish my degree. Like, I was not a go-getter. I was, like, cruising. So math is not my strong suit, but, well, I guess the 1% rule is, let's say, for example, if you have a home that's rented for that you bought for $1,000,000,
Hmm.
every single month, your rental income should be 1% of that. So it should be
Hmm.
10,000. Not possible. Like,
Right.
not in Vancouver, yes, it's kind of like that, but I honestly do not know how people make things work. I used to work 3 jobs, that's why I left. It's because I
Yeah.
could not make things work.
Yeah. It's a super expensive city. Okay. So you're looking at Texas and you were posting about properties to make the 1% rule work.
Correct.
Okay.
And then Naz was one of the people to reach out. And then because he's very, driven, very ambitious as well, so I was like, "Hey, this would be a good partnership."
Okay. And
Yeah.
how did you? So let's talk about that a little bit too, because like partnerships are really interesting. You hopefully will have like complementary skill sets. But did you guys have Zoom calls or like what did you each bring to the table and how did you feel good about that like going forward? Because it's still working. It's sounds like it's a great business and you're still growing it. So like yeah, walk me through that.
Nas definitely is more grounded. So I definitely have more of the real estate development background, and he comes
Okay.
from an engineering background. So he definitely makes up for the my lack of math abilities. Yeah, and it's just we're we're complementary of one another. So I'd say I'm more of a well, I don't think I am an extrovert, but people keep labeling me that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not because during the COVID lockdowns, in severe lockdowns in Canada, I thrived. I loved it. So people keep telling me that I'm an extrovert. I'm like, sure, whatever. But he's comparing to me, I think he just balances me out. So we're a good team because he brings on a lot of the detail-oriented side, and I'm more of the big picture, and I'm really good in hiring and training people and just running different businesses. So I actually took a break from so after Naz and I set up everything for 2H, because it took about 2 years to set up all the systems and processes. After that, we just kept on injecting money. And we had a whole team to run the day-to-day operations, but that took a couple of years to set up. After I did that, I started running businesses for other entrepreneurs for about 3, 4 years as well. So I took a
Okay.
break from the day-to-day operations of the development company so I can
Got it.
just After 15, 16, 17 years in real estate development, I'm like, I need a break.
Totally. Yeah. So what kind of stuff were you doing on that quote unquote break, which I imagine probably
Yeah.
wasn't much of a break for you?
It was so much fun. The most random is so I don't even scroll social media. I post and
Okay.
I ghost. I don't
Okay.
really linger, but I was running the business for a cosmetic and medical doctor turned full-time influencer. So she started her um I guess her business as a med spa owner in central London. So we
Okay.
grew so rapidly. So I joined her team. I made the first, second, and third hires for the team. We went from having 62,000 followers on Instagram to over 250 in the year and a half I was growing her team. And I don't deal with anything social media. So the first person I hired was an executive assistant to be our right hand. Well, actually, we had to go through three. So I trained them. They weren't good enough. Hire fast, fire faster. So we went through three, and now he is still on the team. And the second person I hired was a social media manager. So within a month, I made these two key hires who were able to be my right hand and run the day to day operations. So my doctor client, she can be, where she's best at, which is being the face of the brand,
Mm-hmm.
not managing anything day to day. She's just the face of the brand. So she can be out in London doing in person events and getting her name out there in person, where it's a big deal because a lot of these brands want to know that not only are you an online influencer, they also want to know that you have that pull within the local community.
Mm-hmm.
So I started negotiating six-figure contracts for her with all the brands you see at Sephora. So it was
Wow.
just so much fun. Not only like I still have products. Oh, I actually got one right here, Charlotte Tilbury. They would send me products too. So I have reverse aged since I left Montreal for Austin. Yeah, it's been great.
That's amazing. So you're like running these businesses for other people, I
Entrepreneur.
guess, entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
and I'm
I
sure like
loved it.
learning a ton. So are you still doing that today?
I just launched Prop Lab Media, so I can
Okay.
have more like-minded friends here in Austin. So I
Okay.
am trying to do less virtual. I didn't
Okay.
meet her for maybe a year and 4 months until
Okay.
Estee Lauder, the skincare brand, flew us out to Nashville to meet Dr. Matthew Walker. So that was the first and only time I've
Whoa.
met her in person. I've not met her in person, and I'm just like, I love working with the team, but it doesn't really align with my community building IRL desires. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I go to a lot of events. I plan and host a lot of events is because I don't have colleagues. And the entrepreneurial journey is pretty lonely. And
Mm-hmm.
most people meet their spouses at work. I'm just like, at this rate, I'm never gonna meet anybody. So that's why I was like, okay, maybe no more virtual stuff, only in person.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's amazing. So, okay, walk me through like a day in the life of Alice's life today in Austin, Texas in 2026. Like, you wake up on a Thursday, what are you doing?
Today's an off day. Jeff, today is
Okay,
weird because
Wednesday,
today I have
Wednesday.
seven meetings and events. So today is not a classic day. Okay. So Wednesday, what I would do, I don't set an alarm. I wake up
Okay,
when I wake up. But since now that I've been on keto for a while, I don't need much sleep. So I would be usually up between 5:30 to 7:30. So I just
okay,
wake up when I wake up. And then I usually go to my local coffee shop and then I work straight to about noon. So I've been doing 16/8 for the last 5 years. So I have lunch at noon.
wait, 16, like the fasting window?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So I eat between noon to 8,
okay,
usually noon to 7. So usually lunch between 12 to about 12:30, and then after that, maybe a couple hours more of work, and then I start my Muay Thai training, which I just shadow box now because I got way too deep into just committing to Muay Thai. I was training 6 days a week. I didn't have anything else happening. I was just training all the time. So
whoa.
this is also why with jujitsu, I'm kind of like, oh, I kind of want to give everything up and just go all in, but I can't do that. I need to kind of build more before I join another cult. But
Okay.
yeah, I shadow box for maybe like an hour and a half. And then I'm usually at an event almost every night of the week. If I'm not at an event, I'm probably at Casa de Luz, just chilling. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like
But I'm
both ends of
always
the
home by 8.
spectrum. You're like
Yes.
on, or you're just like deep contemplative reflection.
Yeah. But I would say 95% of the time I'm home by 8.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And early to bed.
Not quite. So home by 8, in a bath from like maybe 8:15 to 9, and then I
Okay.
listen to podcasts, a lot of it, before I go to sleep. They kind of help me fall asleep. Yeah.
It doesn't like make your brain spin.
I'm used to it now. So it's
Wow.
like 6, 7 years of listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the knowledge that I've gathered subconsciously come out. I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know where I picked it up, but
Right.
I've just picked up a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Right. Man, that's so cool. And so how much of your time are you spending, like when you're saying you like during your work windows, how much is dedicated to real estate? How much is dedicated to prop lab? How much is dedicated to, because then you also start an HVAC company?
Yeah, I would say PropLab because it's so new. I've just launched it 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 3 newsletters out. Today was the last one,
Yeah.
the latest one. I would say that is almost 100% of my time. And the
Okay.
reason why I'm going to so many different events is also I am curating all the real estate related events here in Austin. So
Yeah.
I'm going to them. I'm meeting all the event organizers, introducing myself and just I want to connect people. So I need to go to these events and start meeting people
Mm-hmm.
IRL. Yeah.
I I don't know if there's I know there's a book about it. I haven't read it, but there's like the phrase like super connector. Have you ever heard that?
um okay, so do you know Mark Nathan?
Mm-mm.
He is the CPG king of the United States. He is
Okay.
so well connected. He's the only person I've ever met ever to max out his LinkedIn connections. So he has to
Holy
actively
smokes.
remove people. So he is such a great connector. So the first week of me being in Austin, do you know about El Beecher with the boardwalk?
No. I'm
Ooh,
learning so
okay.
many things.
I'll
What
send
is
you a
that?
DM. Okay, so Elle Beecher has this boardwalk that she's been running. She's had over 100 now, and
What does that mean?
the first
What's a boardwalk?
oh the boardwalk. Okay, so every Saturday morning, I can't go anymore because I have jujitsu. But
Mm-hmm.
every Saturday morning, starting at 8 a.m., we meet at Banu on South Congress. So there's
Okay.
anywhere from 20 to about 150 people. We have no agenda. There's no selling. And it's very much bring a topic of your choice. And then we kind of just connect on a 5 mile walk around the Ladybird
Oh,
trail.
awesome.
Yeah. So that's every Saturday, rain or shine at 8. Oh, I think
Okay.
we depart at 8:15. But I can't
Okay.
go anymore because I have jujitsu at 9.
Yeah.
So and Al did say, "Hey, can you take over?" I'm like, "Oh, I can't give up jujitsu." But yeah.
It's a good problem to have.
I know. So Mark, he's a regular there. And the
Okay.
first week of me being in Austin, I went to Elle's Walk. My topic was how to build community here in Austin. And I've never met Mark before. And after the introduction, because you go around in circle, you introduce yourself, you talk about what you're grateful for and the topic you want to talk about that day. So
Okay.
after the introductions, Mark came over and he told me, "You're a super connector." I know. I know because I am one, and I'm just like, "I've never even heard of this." But he's kinda taken me under his wing since, and I saw him this morning at another event too, yeah.
That's
But he's great.
awesome.
I didn't even know that was a thing. It's just I do like connecting people, yeah.
It's such a cool gift. I feel like too, because like it's such a great way that you get to meet people, and then like you become like the center of the hub, right? So like all the spokes are like, and it's just so fun because you're like, oh, you should meet this person. Like, oh, this person would be good for you, and like it's just such a great way. I don't know, like it just you feel so good doing that. I would imagine.
Yes, but there's so much to learn because Mark is like a walking computer. He has a Rolodex like right in his brain at all times. I'm so not there. I am so not there. I don't know
Yet,
how he
yet.
does it. Oh gosh,
Keyword. Keyword.
I don't know if I have the memory for it. So yeah, that's why I
What
started the newsletters. So
growth
keep everyone
mindset? You
in the
remember
loop.
you get
Keep everybody in the loop. I need to do something about the memory problem. Yeah.
I
He
feel like
literally
you'll figure it
remembers
out.
everybody. Yeah.
I have confidence. I have very high confidence you will figure it out. Wow, wait, I just forgot something I wanted to ask around that topic was yeah, like what do you want to do like in 5 years? Like what do you want to be doing? Like how do you want to be spending your time? Like what are
Oh
you
my god.
building? Obviously
Well,
probably, but like
yeah.
is that what you want to be doing for the next 5 years? Like what are your thoughts?
Oh wow. Well, first of all, congratulations on the 7-month-old.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate
that's
it.
awesome. Yeah, I would say so my best friend Emily and I, we've been the reason why we moved to Austin as well is that we definitely want to move on to the next chapters of our lives.
Okay.
Like I think building the next chapter, which is, building a family is the most important thing ever. Building businesses, it's all fun. Building a real estate portfolio, that's fun, but I
Mhm.
don't think before we die, we're definitely not going to be wishing that we spend more time working. It's
Totally.
always going to be the people in our lives. So I would
Totally.
say definitely want to start planning to build a family, spend more time with my mom and dad, and just spend more time seeing the people. The problem with having lived in so many different countries across 4 continents is that, for example, I lived in Australia 2011 to February 2016.
Okay.
My friends from Australia, for example, my best friend Elizabeth from Australia, she's from Mexico City. I spent 2018 with her mom, but I haven't seen her since 2016. And
Mm.
it's really difficult to do that because next thing you know, I haven't seen her in 10 years. She's getting
Mhm.
married in Oaxaca soon. So I'm going to go down there and see her. And I know I'm just going to cry.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you think about balancing like because probably meet so many people, and like you said, you have so many friends all over the world, and you could spend your entire life just like catching up and nurturing relationships with the people you already know. How do you balance that with meeting new people so often and like, yeah, trying to juggle that? Because I know I struggle with that a lot.
Oof, that's a great question, Jeff. I would say that's also one of the reasons why I started the newsletters. Because a lot of people want a lot of one-on-one time, and I
Hmm.
just can't do that because
Yeah.
I'm really in build mode, which means I am not being distracted. I can't even handle people DMing me on Instagram with my real friends. I tell them, "Hey, you know my WhatsApp. My real friends only send me WhatsApp because they
Mm.
know if they DM me, I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to see it. It's
Hmm.
just, I don't want that distraction. So this is why I started the newsletter because people are asking, "Hey, what are you doing? Can you coach me through this and this and this?" And I just can't because I'm in build mode because I
Hmm.
don't want to be in build mode forever. I'm hoping to really, really put in the work in 2026 and just ramp it up to a point where I could just sit back a little bit in 2027, just like
Hmm.
what I've done with the development company. Because we're on
Hmm.
our last piece of land right now. It'll be refinanced probably in February, and Naz and I are gonna take a break from development because
Okay.
him and his wife are expecting their first baby in March. So
Awesome.
the goal is for me, because I want him to take more of a break. I want to stabilize all of our income.
Yeah.
All except for one is Airbnb, so everything else is long term. I wanna
Okay.
be able to turn a couple more into Airbnbs, maximize that profit before
Hmm.
developing more. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, so he can
Gotcha.
take some
Gotcha.
time off to be a new dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. It's I love how just like you know exactly what you want. You're like, okay, this is the time frame that someone would do. Like it's super cool and super inspiring.
Hey, it wasn't always like that.
That's
I
okay.
could
You
not.
you you
Yeah.
became like that, which is even cooler. If it
It
was, it'd be more boring.
it's really wild because it wasn't until the last couple of weeks when a few people have told me, "Do you ever relax? Like, why do you do so much?" I'm like, "Whoa." For the longest time, I didn't do anything. I just didn't do anything. I lived paycheck to paycheck. Was just cruising. I blew all my savings in 2018.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know who they see, but who they see is not who I see because I know me the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Man. Well, I want to start winding down here, but man, thank you so much for coming on. And before I let you go, we've kind of talked about the podcast that you consume. Are there any other types of like, are you into like what's the besides Rich Dad Poor Dad, Burr, and 4 Hour Work Week? Have there been any other game level frame changing books that you've read?
Oh yeah. A lot. A lot. There's one called Mindset. So I can't remember who wrote it, but in Mindset, she talks about having a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. It was the first time ever that I've heard this concept. And I learned about it through Tom Bailey's podcast. So Tom
Okay.
Bailey is the founder of Quest. He built
The
Quest with
diagnostics
his wife
company
Lisa.
or the
No,
nutrition,
so
the snack company?
the snack company, they built it from zero. Him and his wife Lisa built it from zero to selling it for $1 billion. And that book changed his mind as well in 9 years. I should emphasize in 9 years. So,
Wow.
he recommended that book. I read that book and it just blew my mind because I didn't realize any of this. So I do recommend people that, as well
Okay.
as Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
Yeah. That book broke my brain.
And it also blows my mind that a lot of people know Goggins as Goggins today. And
Hmm.
a lot of people didn't know that Goggins used to be a pest control guy who was overweight and miserable and
Yeah.
suicidal. A lot of people don't know that. People always think that, hey, Goggins always been Goggins. No,
Right.
Goggins Goggins is new too.
Yeah.
Goggins still looks at his runners for half an hour before putting them on. Yeah.
Yeah. That book is wild. I used to read that every year as just like a reminder of
Really.
like, oh,
Can't hurt me.
okay, anything that I'm going through is like, it's fine. Like, I
Oh,
got nothing to
yeah.
complain about.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Alice, thank you so much for coming on. I so
That was
appreciate
fun.
you and like the community that you're building, and I've been really enjoying the newsletters. So thank you for starting them, and for people who want to learn more, where's the best place to follow you or to learn more about Prop Lab Media or any of the other exciting ventures you got going on?
Yeah, so if you just Google Prop Lab Media, you should be able to subscribe to the newsletters there.
Okay.
And again, my Instagram is Alice Loves Muay Thai, but I will
Okay.
not DM back. So just if you want to follow my journey, feel free. The weird shit that I do, have a look, but I will not DM back. Yeah.
Okay. It's not personal. It's a policy.
It's not, yes, we got too many incoming channels. It's too distracting. Yeah.
100%. Well, Alice, thank you so much for coming on. I so appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the cool things that you do.
That was fun. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. All right. Bye, everybody.